RocSports, and I'm back with another video. As you can tell by the title, this is a week 3, recap of the NFL season. I'm not going to be long because I also want to do a prediction and breakdown of the Cowboys and Eagles game. That's tonight. So I'm going to do a quick rundown of all these games. I got them pulled up right here. All of the scores. So the Colts lost, and they go 0-3 to the Titans, who improved to 2-1. Wentz shouldn't have been out there. I'm a huge Wentz fan. As you can tell, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not one of those Eagles fans that's bitter that the Wentz thing didn't work out, or that's, feel a way towards Wentz. I'm still very, very, very much a fan of Wentz. He shouldn't have been out there. He's not healthy. The Colts got a lot to improve on. I thought they would be much better defensively, but nonetheless, their defense finally, put up a good showing. They put some pressure on the Colts, and they got some things rolling offensively a little bit. The Falcons finally pick up a W against the Giants on a last-second field goal. The Giants and Giants fans, y'all never seem to amaze me. Every week is something new. Some way, somehow, the Giants are going to find a way to lose a game. Nonetheless, congrats to the Falcons. Arthur Smith picked up his first W as a head coach. And then we got Justin Herbert against the Chiefs. This was the shocker of the week for me. Not because the Chiefs won. The Chiefs lost. But how they lost. It's just such sloppy play. The Raiders and Chargers play the Chiefs pretty good. But, man, 4 turnovers offensively. And what was it, 2? The first 2 drives, if I'm not mistaken. And the Chargers they did a good job on making them pay for their mistakes. I think they capitalized on the first 3 turnovers with 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so shout out to the Chargers, man. Justin Herbert and them, they putting something together, and I really do want to see them get going a little bit more consistently offensively, finishing drives. They seem to be able to get yards on anybody, but they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. And their special teams, they kicking. The Bengals, that was another shocker. I'm not sure if this is what to make of Pittsburgh at this point. I've been off Big Ben's bandwagon for a couple seasons now, but especially last season. But this season, man, he just looks shot. Even in the game that they won against the Bills, man. It was a shocker that they won and how they won, but that was week 1. And now we in week 3, and the Steelers just look, especially offensively, man, they just look brutal. The Bengals, shout out to the Bengals, man. They making moves. They shocking me. I'm gonna keep my eye out on them for real. All the Jamar Chase haters, move around. Bears and Browns. If most of you don't know, doesn't know me, don't know me, that's tuning into these videos, I'm from Chicago, and I'm an Eagles fan first, and I'm really only an Eagles fan, but I root for the Bears naturally because that's my home team. Man, to see that may have been the worst offensive line play I have ever seen in my life. I've been watching football all my life. That might have been the worst offensive line play I've seen, man. That was really, really bad. Really, you could argue both sides of the ball, but specifically talking about the Bears, that was terrible. That was terrible, man. Shout out to the Browns. They took care of business. That defensive line, Myles Garrett, set a franchise record with 4.5 sacks. And I think the Bears gave up 9 total or 8 total. But the Bears racked up 5 sacks themselves on the Browns. Clearly wasn't enough, didn't matter. Baker and company, they did what they had to do. Odell made his debut. Great to see him back. And yeah, obviously we're going to be keeping an eye on the Browns. Justin Tucker. Again, just like Giants and Giants fans, he never seems to amaze me, man. I just expect this from Justin Tucker. When he missed early in the game, I was like, oh my God, what is going on? What is, But yeah, the Lions put up a very good, tough fight. It sucks for Lions fans and the Lions players that they had to lose that way. But the Ravens could easily be 0-3 right now, or they could be 3-0. But they're 2-1, and the Lions are 0-3. Another shocker for me. Not the fact that the Saints beat the Patriots, but the way that they beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots up in Foxborough. They dominated them boys. Mac Jones, that was really, really, really his welcome to the NFL game yesterday. It was just bad play for both sides of the ball from the Patriots. They couldn't protect Mac Jones, and start with that, things just gonna crumble. The Cardinals, the hottest team right now. Well, one of the hottest teams right now, man. The NFC West. Every game in that division is a playoff game. It's that simple. All four of them teams, man, are incredible to watch. It's just great football. But Kyler Murray, I want to see him just clean up on the goofy turnovers, man. I feel like it's now routine for him to throw a pick in double coverage now, every game. And I don't understand, because Kyler could be playing so lights out, and then he just feel the need to have to force a throw in double or triple coverage, and he has to clean that up, especially when they play, the better teams in their division. In their division as well as the league. The Jaguars, it's improvements week by week, but still a long way to go. Trevor, again, he's shown flashes of why he was picked where he was picked. The first pick, I don't count on him. The second one was terrible. But obviously, their defense still got some stuff to work on. But I felt like that was their defense's best game yesterday. And but they let James Conner eat a little bit too much for me. But yeah, nothing really too much to talk about for that game. Cardinals took care of business. Washington, I don't want to hear nothing else about their defense. Nothing. Am I saying their defense is bad? No. But people were sitting up here acting as if they had proved themselves. Again, they did put up a great showing in their first playoff game against the Bucs. And to see what the Bucs did to everybody else, Washington definitely deserves credit for that. But this is a new year. For people to just assume, I get all of those dudes on that D-line is young. They're going into their second, third, fourth year, all of that. They have studs everywhere. But, man, I didn't think that they would be this bad, but I didn't think that they would be as good as everyone made them, predicted them to be. Now, obviously, we just 3 games into the season. They can easily turn that around. But the most thing I'm shocking about the whole Washington team is their front four can't get as much pressure as I thought they would be. I didn't think that they was the best in the league, but I did think that they was top 5 in the league for sure. But it seems as if no matter who they're playing, they're not dominating the game defensively from the defensive line standpoint. They have to pick it up. They have to pick it up, Washington. As far as for the Bills, they took care of business. They took care of business. They look like the Bills that everybody thought that they would be preseason. The Jets, just the woeful Jets. I have nothing to say. Except for Zach Wilson has to pick it up. The Broncos look really good right now, early on, 3-0. But I'm gonna keep my eye out on them. They lose KJ Hamler on top of Jerry Jeudy. That's gonna hurt. So they becoming a little depleted. But Javonte Williams, love him. Melvin Gordon, love him. Keep playing run-first football. And they're going to be able to play defense. So I'm going to keep my eye on the Broncos, but especially when the schedule toughens up a little bit. Because they really haven't played nobody. If I'm not mistaken, none of their opponents that they played through these first 2 weeks picked up a W yet. So I'm going to keep my eye out on them, though. They're doing what they're supposed to do. The Raiders, they might be the shock of the season so far, in terms of winning teams. Now, yeah, you can say the Rams, but a lot of people predicted the Rams to be, pretty good. I didn't think that the Raiders would start off 3-0 and look this good offensively while doing it. So again, they started off slow yesterday in Miami, and they pick up a tough W in overtime for the second straight week. Or was it when did they play Baltimore? Was it the first week or the second week? I believe it was last week. But, they pick up another overtime victory, and Derek Carr continues to be on fire. Again, they had a slow start, but they picked it up, and they look really, really good, man. Despite some injuries from the Raiders on the first couple of weeks, they look really good. The Seahawks, another bit of a slight shocker. I mean, it was in Minnesota. Minnesota had their fans back yesterday, and that building was on fire. But they look really good. The receivers, Justin Jefferson and them, they was able to pretty much do whatever they want. Seattle, man, I just feel they should be better defensively, man. They should just be much better than they are. This seems to have at every level. I don't know. Seattle got to tighten up some things defensively, but they seem to never really blow nobody out. But they got to pick it up, man. They 1-2. They have to pick it up in that division. They have to pick it up if they want to be seriously competing. The Bucs and Rams. Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, man. That defense, we already knew that defense was legit from last year. Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey leading the way. They continue to do what they do, especially Aaron Donald. And the Rams, man, the score could have been much worse. You don't see 10-point victories often in the NFL, but even for this game, that score doesn't indicate the showing that the Rams put on yesterday. They dominated the Bucs, and that was a very, very, very good, entertaining game, especially offensively for the Bucs. D-Jack, that's my boy. That's my man, man. He going to be able to do that until he retires. And I'm glad that he's with a quarterback that's going to air it out and a coach that wants him to air it out. You know what I mean? So they're going to be must-see TV all year long on both sides of the ball. The Rams are for real, as well as the Bucs. The Bucs are fine. They lost this game, but the Bucs fine. The Packers and the 49ers, man, that was a hell of a game. Hell of a game. Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy G, that was a great game from start to finish. Especially the second half. But Jimmy G, it was good to see him have a game like that, especially that last drive he had. Too bad that they lost the game for Niner fans and for Jimmy G's sake. But that was just too much time when they scored on that last possession, and I seen that how much time, what was it, 37 on the clock? I said, man, I think that's too much. And nonetheless, it was too much. And not only was it too much for Aaron Rodgers, and you just expected Aaron Rodgers to get them in field goal range, but man, it was to Devontae. I don't understand how you can lose Devontae again. I know that they were playing zone, and they were probably scared to get beat deep in man, but Fred Warner was almost there on a one pass over the middle that A-Rod hit. Devontae Adams went late, but he just couldn't get deep enough in his sink. So that's a credit to Rodgers and Devontae Adams. But nonetheless, Green Bay improved. Both teams improved to will go on to be 2-1. So, and then it gets to this night game. Beat Dallas. Now, I'll be first to admit, as an Eagles fan, I'm a little sketchy about this game. I'm not sure if we can win this game, but I'm not about to pick the Cowboys to beat us. I'm going to be logical and say the Cowboys should win. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Cowboys are hurt right now, too. They have a little COVID issues with, on both sides of the ball. But they've been without their guys a little bit. This is the Eagles' first game without their injured guys. Eagles going to be without Brandon Graham, who's the leader of our defense. He's not the best player, but he's the leader of our defense. The heart and soul of this whole team is Brandon Graham. We're going to be without Brandon Brooks. We're going to be without Jordan Mailata. So that's huge. That's huge. Those are three huge losses. I mean, can the Cowboys beat the Eagles without Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, and we don't even have to say DeMarcus Lawrence. You can even have DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gray, any of them. You could take out any one of them. Would y'all beat us? But let's just say DeMarcus Lawrence. If Zach Martin, if no Zach Martin, no Tyron Smith, and no DeMarcus Lawrence versus the Eagles, at the Eagles in Philly for the Eagles home opener, what's going to happen, Cowboy fans? What's going to happen? Exactly. Y'all know what will happen. So that's why I'm skeptical about this. If we was at full strength, I would pick us to win. That don't mean we would win, but I would feel a little bit more comfortable about this game. It's going to be a very tough, hostile environment as a typical NFC East game is. But considering that this is the Cowboys, we haven't played the Cowboys this early in the season, and I don't know how long. So considering that we playing them maybe since 2016, but considering that we playing them this early, at their home opener, their fans going to be fired up and their team is going to be fired up too. So if the Eagles could weather the storm, I think we may be able to pull it out late. But for some weird feel, I have a weird feeling that the Cowboys may just come out very hot, and I don't know if we're going to be able to recover. But the Eagles must, I think, run first this game. We have to run the ball. I know that Mailata and Landon Dickerson is out, but I feel much more comfortable with those replacements, Landon Dickerson and Andre Dillard. I don't want Andre Dillard on that island with whoever. It don't have to be Randy Gregory, but most likely it will be Randy Gregory. Whether it's Randy Gregory, Michael Parsons, whoever they have, I don't want Andre Dillard one-on-one too much on the island by himself. We seen that enough, and he hadn't even played that much. But we seen enough of that. So I'm very nervous about the left tackle. Not as much as I am about the right guard. I have faith in Landon. Yeah, he's coming off an injury and everything, but I have faith in him. So Nick Sirianni, we have to finish drives tonight. The Eagles must execute in the red zone and finish drives tonight. Defensively, I think we'll be fine. The Cowboys' offense is set up where they're going to get points just because they have weapons at every level, whether it's from the running backs, the offensive line, the quarterback himself. Dak is elite now. I'm willing to say that. And then the receiver. So, Coop and CD and Cedric Wilson, even without Gallup, is still very, productive. He's a productive player in his offense. So, and Dak likes him. And not to mention Blake Jarwin. But so first thing first, I think we must stop the run though, because they was hot last week. Eagles must establish the run and stop the run first. We got to trust Slay on Amari Cooper. We have to trust Slay on Amari Cooper. I don't want us doubling Amari Cooper. This is why we brought Slay here, for games, for receivers, for matchups like this. He's had his success with Amari in the past. Let Slay guard Amari Cooper the whole game. Put Steven Nelson and Avonte Maddox on CeeDee Lamb. If you need to roll covers to CeeDee sometimes, do that. But they're going to find ways to get CeeDee the ball, whether that's him in the backfield, bubble screens, whatever. But pay attention to CeeDee and just let Slay be on the island. If Slay get cooked, they beat our best guy. They were just better. You know what I mean? But we have to establish the run. We have to stop the run. One thing I will say, though, even with the Eagles' injuries offensively on the offensive line, if we can protect Jalen Hurts just for a little bit, I like our matchups in the secondary. I'm not sold on Diggs like everybody else is. I still do think that you could throw it his way. Yes, he is a playmaker, but he's not a lockdown, shutdown corner. And they don't have none of those. They have a couple playmakers in Kazee and Diggs. And I really like Malik Hooker. I always have, but he just can't stay healthy. But with Rager and Devontae Smith and even Quez Watkins, I like our matchups with the speed. I really do. Tight ends too. Dallas Goedert. This may be a Dallas Goedert game. Dallas Goedert history will tell you that he have very good games against the Cowboys. And Zach Ertz comes back tonight. Now, he was on the COVID list, so I don't know, how much to expect. But I really want to see Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert get going tonight. So there you have it. That's a quick breakdown from me. I don't want to pick a winner, but I am going to pick the Eagles. I'm not going to pick a score, but I am going to pick the Eagles to slightly pull this win out. It's going to be a tough game. But stay tuned. I'm checking out all of my boxing, NFL, and NBA fans. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Keep coming back. I'm going to be dropping more content.